mean, we might as well start with the Katt Williams joint if y'all want to get all the silly shit out the way. How y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, what did you have did you have clips that you wanted us to look at, or?
I mean, we can pull up some of the clips. I think I got a couple timestamps, but I don't know. Because I don't know. You said you watched the whole clip, and I'm not sure that you heard the little Palestine dig.
I heard it.
That was pretty wacky shit.
I heard it.
What'd he say about Palestine?
I mean, when he was trying to explain what he's here for, he's saying he's here to be funny. Then he's two, he's here to be respectful. And three, he's here to
y'all.
No, he said he said three, he's here to Gaza Strip mother effers. So he was talking about some sister who he was beefing with. I think it was I can't remember the comedian lady, the little loud lady. And he was saying he will blow it up until there's nothing left, blow you up until there's nothing left, and then when there's nothing left, he's still gonna keep bombing you. So
I mean, I think it's an accurate metaphor.
I mean, I think accuracy don't really have nothing to do with I guess.
So Biggie couldn't say blow up like the World Trade.
I mean, I think that's a little different. I think the World Trade and Palestine is not the exact same type of thing.
No.
So.
Oh, I thought he said something because I kind of bailed out, but
I mean, it was just really, it was a silly line, and it was him just saying that he would treat her the way. What he did was the worst part of it is that he ends up politically defending Israel's claim that it has a right to self-defense
because of terrorists.
Oh, see,
so he's saying this woman, he's saying he's on this radio show, and this fellow comedian and the co-host of the show, she starts bombing on him a little bit, pun intended, I guess, or poorly pun intended, and then Shannon basically asks something to the effect. One, he asks, because she's a woman, aren't you supposed to take it easy on her? And then two, did you just go too far? And he was like, what do you mean? He said, basically something like, I didn't cuss, I didn't call her out her name, and I didn't make it about all short, chubby women and all women with short haircuts. I made it about her. And then I responded the way, and if you come at me, I'm going to respond to you the way Israel did the Palestinians. Because if you come at me, then I'm going to try to wipe you all the way out.
Oh.
That's a timestamp right there. But yeah.
He left that part out.
Okay. All right. All right. Here we go. We can.
And he immediately
did you send the link to play at the start of the timestamp?
Oh no. I send the link. And
all right,
then,
that's confusing.
But can we
hour and 9 minutes?
Hold on, I got it right here. If you want me to just play it real quick.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Hold on.
Immaculate and Gaza Strip it. That's non-political. Can't possibly respond to it. You're not sure of the meaning. And I'm going to continue hitting you because this is what comedians do.
Right.
You've been masquerading that you're a comedian too. And that's the fallacy.
So
nobody in boxing fights out of their weight class. If you're a 130 pounder, you don't just show up with the 160 pounders. You stay in your weight class.
Is that what you wanted to do?
No.
That she was out of her league when it came to, because
I didn't want to do any of it.
I know you didn't want to, but once she took it there, did you feel that you had to go there? Oh, you could have said, Wanda, I didn't come here for that. I just want to do the interview. I just want to talk about what happened.
Oh, you misunderstand my job. My job is to be funny. My job is to be funny first. My first job is to be funny. My second job is to be respectful. My third job is to be immaculate and Gaza Strip it. That's non-political. I'm saying if you do it, you let a terrorist accidentally touch over here, and I won't stop burning you down until there ain't nothing left. It'll literally be rubble on top of rubble, and I'll still be bombing. Why? Because that's why you should mind your business. This is what F around and find out is about.
You still think that's
Well,
not,
you left out terrorist.
well,
Did
I mean,
you say that? I mean, you like, yeah. I'm just gonna have Jared explain things to me from now on, because I do think that you know, being a relentless bomber in Gaza, I think that is the reality that we're dealing with. Bombs over Baghdad. I mean, it's and I think having Katt Williams talk about, from the way you put it out there, just bombing rubble, I think that's the only way some people will get it. But I didn't know he, as Jared clarified, he put it in terms of self-defense or combating terrorists. That is disgusting. But I mean, we can't forget Katt Williams has always been patriotic and status quo. I mean, I've seen him do stand-up, and in his stand-up, he always talks about this is America, and America's a great country. And even when he's critiquing America, he talks about it in the context of America failing to live up to being what America truly is. So,
you know, so
I'm not in any way surprised.
a couple things. Like I remember in one of Charlemagne's show on Comedy Central, where he brought Ian Dunlap on. And then Ian Dunlap's supposed to be this master investor. And then he brought Kevin on, Kevin Hart, and he had Kevin Hart talking like, investment. And so this idea of like bringing celebrities, in particular comedians, to the space and trying to create this image of how intelligent they are. So even at the beginning of the episode, Katt Williams says, I'm only here to Shannon Sharpe's show because you make it safe for people to come here and tell the truth. And then ironically, throughout the commercials, I see a bunch of like anti-communist propaganda that's going around all over the place. But he immediately talks about how from 8 to 12, he read 3,000 books.
Yeah, that was crazy.
A year.
A year.
A year.
When he was 6 to 8 years old. Not now.
No. He said 8 to 12. He said 8 to 12. He said
8 to 12, some shit like.
And then, and then when he turned 13, he leaves home because he's beefing with his dad about some weird stuff. He says his dad accused him of doing something sexual, some sexual act. Right?
His dad had a dream about him committing an act. And Jehovah's Witnesses believes that Jehovah can communicate truth to them through dreams. And so he was talking about him being disfellowshipped. That's the thing.
Oh, I appreciate that because he didn't clarify that during the interview. So thanks.
But he never. But that's the thing.
Sure
he didn't. He talk about everybody, but he won't talk about the Jehovah's Witness cult. So Katt ain't as hardcore as he pretends to be. Sometimes he does pick and choose who he's willing to call out. Because when he said that word disfellowship, that's when I immediately knew. Because I had a friend whose mother was told by the Jehovah's Witness, her handler within the Jehovah's Witness, that he was demon possessed. And that he brought a demon into the fellowship, and it flipped over furniture after he left. So I was very familiar about what Katt was saying he was going through.
And also, so after the 8 to 12, 3,000 books joint, he at 13 runs away from home with his dog and jumps in the truck in Ohio, a trucker, and the trucker just allowed his kid to go with him down to Florida. So he goes from Ohio to Florida at 13, starting doing his thing, have a baby by 18, become a single dad.
Doing his thing, he was interviewing homeless doctors, homeless lawyers, homeless professors.
That's what he said, yeah.
While he was down there.
And I mean, but he said he made it. He had this deep conversation with God and he was telling God, like, this comedy thing got to work. I ain't got nothing left. I'm a single dad. And supposedly God blessed him to be the truth teller of all comedians. But so again, what does this say about people? Like that whole thing. I mean, I don't even remember. I skipped through the jokes because I've saw enough clips, but I just wanted to kind of see what he was saying. but people can watch this and forget all it, skip over all the things that he was saying, and just really focus on some of the things. And then they go on to find things. Oh, look, they pull up all the comedians with white or light-skinned girlfriends, and they say, see, he's telling the truth. And then Ricky Smiley responds, see, he's telling the truth. And that's kind of the center of this spectacle. So what do you say about that celebrity culture?
It ain't just celebrity culture though.
You don't think this has nothing to do with being celebrity? Because I feel like that, I don't know that it would have all the views, just like with Charleston and Cam video. I don't think reached to what their video, Shannon and Katt video right now. I think they almost at 12 million, and I don't know if Charleston and them cap out at 4 or 5 million in a few days. So this is going to continuously be a thing. Obviously, it's already been a thing, but yeah, I think it's very rooted in being celebrities. I don't think a regular podcast can pull that off without having some type of celebrity coming and giving some gossip or giving people some truth or whatever.
Honestly, all I keep thinking is, even as I watched it, and got a lot of petty enjoyment. Again, I don't know. I've never seen Katt stand up. I didn't watch almost any of the movies that they're referencing. I don't think I saw any of the subsequent Fridays, not in any meaningful way, or any of these other things that Katt has been in. I was just watching it for the hate, the pettiness.
Mm-hmm.
I was riveted by the contradictions and the spectacle of it all. I mean, because I remember Sterling and Channing Sharp when I used to watch football.
Yeah, Sterling with the
and it's amazing to me to see him sitting there. First of all, to see him sitting there, he's got to be well over 50 at this point, right? He's older than me, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Shannon, and he's got to be close to my age, but in this. I was laughing because I was like, I'm glad he wore a sweatsuit that differed from his actual complexion, so I could see that he was actually wearing clothes because the thing was so tight. And then he's going to sit there and respond to Katt Williams talking about, you got to keep it real, and you wouldn't allow someone to come into the locker room on steroids and claim to be a real football player. And I'm sitting there like, are you joking? I was like, is that part of the routine? You sit there, Chitty Bacha said he's 55 years old.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I am hating and being petty here. There's nobody of that age who is in that level of shape without being on something. And to be on some hormone or whatever. But the point is, it don't matter. The point is that there's no way he was in an NFL locker room for however many years talking about, I'm going to get rid of the fake steroids users and keep it real in the locker room. So and Katt kept coming back to that. So he kept using that analogy to talk about why he's got to be real and tell the truth. So and again, ultimately all I kept thinking was, this is just more of the psychological warfare. This is it's just, that's all of I can think of it at this, even as I'm at moments riveted by it, and thinking that I don't know, on some level this passes as political discourse and being somewhat frustrated by that, but
of course. But Diallo, you said it has nothing to do with celebrity. What you mean about Club Shay Shay? No celebrity
Club
stuff.
Shay Shay.
No, well, I'm sorry. What I meant to say, that this is not exclusive to celebrity culture.
Yeah.
But one thing I do think that resonates that resonates with me is that a lot of these people who are icons, who are leaders, who are giving us turkeys on the holidays and are basically, because as you said, where it is celebrity. So yeah, I do understand these are celebrities. But this type of shit goes on in all circles. I mean, academia, the church, the black church, and anywhere you can find. I just think that we see it more in celebrities because they're upfront and public figures. But just how in his targeting of these other public figures, just how relatively, I mean, pathetic they all are.
Mhm.
These people we see as aspirational, these people we define as powerful, these people we define as successful. And it's just that whole arena and area of celebrity, because as a celebrity is, to me, is not someone who entertains or is someone who is aspirational within the culture,
Yeah.
and and promoted by the status quo, promoted by the establishment, promoted by those who control and own the means of production, as someone that the masses, the working classes and the masses should look up to and should notice and recognize and follow. um Culture leaders and thought leaders, just how fucking pathetic they all are. And when we look behind the veil of someone who where he talked about his name, every time I try to think of his name, all I see is his, but let me not go into that. But what's the guy, Steve Harvey?
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
writing books, he's lecture tours, he's has
Financial advice.
he has a retreat for young men where he
Yeah.
brings all these young men, and the criteria is that the young black men have to come from single mothers, and he brings them out on these huge charter boats, might as well be slave boats, but charter buses,
Buses,
and
yeah.
brings them out to these golf course
It's
retreats,
actually in Georgia, yeah. Mostly
and
in
he
Georgia.
teaches them how to tie ties, and they have how to wear ties and how to make eye contact and give firm handshake. And
Mhm.
then he got that one Paula Dean, that racist white blonde, bleach blonde Southern
Preacher.
belle, to come and cater their meals for them, for all these black boys. So this guy is somebody that transcended comedy and becomes, and he went to Africa and went to the slave castles in Almina, and wore an African dashiki that he had custom made with his
Was on
Greek
stage crying.
fraternity letters on it. So I mean, anytime someone like that, and those other figures, Ricky Smiley, who has been hella problematic, misogynistic against the black women, and when his son uh was on that reality show and said, I don't date black women.
Oh.
I don't date black women. And then he told his son, we make too much money to get involved, because the community was outraged. And
wow.
and then even Katt Williams sat there and said that his fame is from white people, and white people got him famous, and he prefers to perform for white people. I mean, even in trying to condemn others, Katt Williams, his
Well,
tattered underwear was showing too. So ultimately, my ultimate takeaway is that these Negroes in the public eyes, these minstrels, are pathetic. And anytime, if I say let them destroy each other, if we can't bring them down, I hope they bring each other down.
Yeah, but also I think even the idea of the minstrels and the impact and the role of the celebrity, and then when and what they say and how people engage. So for instance, he immediately also said like, oh, this has nothing to do with race. This is about God, and I'm on God's side, and his job is to expose lies. So it's like there's multiple times that there's lines that kind of, not only he's a celebrity, but posed to him to be authority, and him doing something that is worth, oh, we gotta kind of expose some stuff. And again, it's not acting like or saying anything about exposing lies about Israel, all these other things.
Well,
All the
he
things
literally said he can't speak outside of comedy.
you
And
say he
every
can't.
time, yeah, or within the first 5 minutes of the interview, he's like, "Listen, I don't know nothing." He said, "If it's outside of comedy, then
Or
I'm not
black
going to
entertainment or
go
something like that.
to." No,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
literally said comedy, not even entertainment.
Oh, okay.
And it's obvious. I mean, he sat there and said that when it comes to comedy, I can speak with full confidence. Anything outside of comedy, I don't know shit. And then
Right.
proceeded to say every time they went outside of the arena of comedy, the shit went completely off the rails.
Right.
So he talked it and he lived it. So anybody listening to Katt again, and then he talked about sobriety and how it's just wild. But
Well, he said
Again,
if it's
I
not
appreciate-
nicotine or weed, he leaves it alone as he
Right.
sat there sipping some liquor.
Right. So like Cat Williams, again, I think I appreciate that first 20 minutes, first 30 minutes. I didn't make it a full hour into it. Thank goodness I missed the Gaza stuff, but I've always been turned off by how he was like, "This is America, damn it. This is America."
Oh,
Like,
he's done some anti-immigrant
where-
clip, at least in
yeah.
clips that I've seen. He does the whole.
So he's a status quo. He's patriotic and he's status quo. He's one of them. I was homeless. I came from nothing. And due to the opportunity of America and America being what it is. And so he's a patriotic black man. So like he said, I think we should take him at his word when he said if he's talking about anything then to jokes and making you laugh, if it's anything outside of that, tune out. Because there's really nothing of substance or value there beyond the jokes.
So real quick before we move on, were we amending the chat comment rule? Are we going to address them during the segment or wait?
Cool.
I just want to make sure.
We could do it that way.
So just a couple that I caught here. Jared, he was taking shots at Shannon, and Shannon was too goofy to realize it. Maybe I didn't register. Maybe I am too, because I didn't register him taking shit. I mean, I thought he had developed, that his Katt had developed, I thought, a nice device for being critical of the host of the show he's on by doing that sort of, Shannon, you make this space to tell truths, and you let other people get away with telling lies.
Yeah.
And then, you should have pushed on this question. Like I thought it was a good device to keep it friendly, but also let Shannon know you didn't ask the right questions. And that's when I was always thinking, yeah, because he's a football player who got a gig. I mean, he's not, but so that was but maybe, and I'm sure.
I could definitely see the Shannon jabs, because from what I saw a couple of Katt stand-ups, but I heard a bunch of interviews, and he does do, like, he's normally smarter than the interviewer. Like, out of all the celebrities that's interviewing him or whatever, he's normally smarter than them, and he's normally
he's been reading 3,000 books a year since he was 8.
Yeah, so I probably saw that too in terms of those jabs, because he kept saying things about football references that might have, like been an underhand at Shannon. So I can agree with that.
All right. And then one other comment from Monica: genocide is not a fucking joke. I agree. And just wanted to co-sign that.
I don't think saying that, I'll bomb the rubble is saying that genocide is a joke. But if you look especially at Jewish history and Jewish culture and Jewish media surrounding Hitler and the Holocaust, humor is a way to communicate painful things in a way that can be absorbed. If you just look at The Producers, which was one of the most longest running, most successful theatrical ventures. So genocide is not a joke, but comedy and humor can be utilized. I mean, from Richard Pryor and his comedy Super Nigger and talking about racism. And if you look at other politicized comedians, I think that from the way Geechee described it, if a comedian says, I'm like Israel and I'm going to bomb rubble, I think that is a condemnation of Israel, not a dismissal of genocide.
Well, bomb rubble was afterward. So first he said bombing,
again,
and then
Geechee, I know, like I said, don't explain nothing else to me, Geechee, because you didn't mention terrorist.
Actually, I did mention terrorist.
That it was in the context of.
Actually, I did mention terrorist.
All you said was, he said, I'm gonna be like, if you come at me, I'm gonna be like Israel, and I'm gonna bomb the rubble. So I do think that humor is an arena where people do actually get to
rubble. I literally said bomb till nothing left, and then when there's nothing left, then when you're gone, I'll keep bombing. That's what he said.
Again, I don't think that people.
That's what he said.
I don't think that it would suggest that genocide is a joke. And again, like I said, when you look at a lot of Jewish comedy writers and a lot of comedy and around the Holocaust. They've been very, very successful at weaponizing humor against the Third Reich, and to sustain and keep that consciousness about the Holocaust within.
Yeah, I just don't think he was attempted. I don't
No,
think
he
he was
wasn't doing
attempting to
that.
make
I
a
didn't see
joke.
that. I was just going off of what I was told. If I heard a comedian say, "I'm going to bomb rubble. I'm going to bomb nothing until it's nothing, and then bomb again," that is accurate. And if it has to be communicated within a comedic format, I would not have an issue with that, because it is accurate as fuck. But if he's coming at it from the context of that's how you deal with terrorists, that part, which you later explained to me and then demonstrated, yeah, if he's coming at it from the side of the Zionist as opposed from the side of just the absurdity of bombing rubble, it is, I mean, absurdism and talking about the absurdity of shit that we're supposed to think is real and serious, is there is no issue with that. I don't think.
I don't know how to even if he didn't say the terrorists and all that other stuff. I don't know how to take a bombing like Gaza Strip, knowing all of the people that was literally still being murdered. I'm not sure how we could just, I'm gonna justify that. Oh, it's just a joke or whatever. Like,
it's not just a joke. I don't believe in anything. I have a whole presentation where I talked about nothing's just a joke, where I was talking about Dave Chappelle and his reactionary ideology and politics embedded in his comedy. I don't ever think anybody can hide behind just a joke. But if you are to say, I will bomb rubble, is an absurd thing to do. Scorched earth, and then you bombing rubble is an absurd thing to do. And it is a way to articulate that in condemnation.
Like,
I'm saying it, Geechee. I'm saying it, Geechee.
Oh,
right
you said
now.
If he would have said something else.
Well, what I heard before, if he says, if in the context of pointing out the absurdity of the Zionist offensive, which is not it's not a defensive move. It is everything that happens that the state of Israel, the IDF does, is offensive maneuver. It's not a defensive thing as they're saying it, to say that they're over there literally bombing nothing, to show you the absurdity. Or back during the U.S. Genocidal incursion into the Middle East, where comedians were talking about they're dropping $50 million bomb on $12 tents. I don't think that is a dismissal or saying that genocide is funny. It's pointing out the absurdity and the depths of depravity of the genociders. But I mean, if it's beyond you, it's beyond you.
Well, that's the phrase when people say make it make sense. And I think that's what Diallo was trying to do. He was trying to make it make sense. But if you're talking about another celebrity,
what am I trying to make sense? I'm talking about my point of view.
Don't move on yet. Just quickly, because ZZ Lion came through. Thank you, ZZ. He said nothing new. It was barbershop talk. Katt was promoting liberal view of capitalism and domination through competitive comedy. That is their audience, with white Chappelle adjacent. Nothing conscious or revolutionary. And then Piper, very quickly, shout out to Piper. I wasted 3 hours of my life watching, and then wasted another hour on Dave Chappelle's newest.
Jesus, man, y'all some gluttons for punishment.
I made it. I did watch the first. I watched maybe the first 10 minutes of Chappelle through the first joke. It did make me laugh. His setup is. I think his setup is unparalleled, but the politics are. I didn't make it too far. The politics are started. I think it's run. I think I think others have a point to the extent that he doesn't punch in the right direction. And then Leroy Moore hit me up with a bunch of comments about the disabled, the targeting of the disabled, which he seemed to start to go into. So
did he bring out any billionaires this round?
Not in the first 10 minutes or so, but that's sort of. And you made that point a few months ago or whenever, and it resonated. And then Jackie made the point a few months ago, and that resonated with me at least. And I will maintain that there's a wing of criticism of him that is condemning a race first approach, but I'm not, as they say, going to die on that Chappelle Hill. So,
oh, and I did we Chappelle said, not Chappelle. Katt Williams said that his success was because of white folks, and he does better with white audiences than black audiences. See, I don't
remember hearing it quite that way. I heard Katt saying, I may be wrong, but what I remember hearing it was that Katt was saying that he has always been able to do well with any audience, and that he is appreciative of that.
We have to know, because first he says, normally I don't even come talk to y'all. I go talk to who's that old dead freak? With the suspenders, Larry King.
Oh, Larry King. He did say
he said, but normally I go talk to real people like Larry King, him and Chris Rock and Kevin Hart. They all for that. Listen, it ain't real if it ain't white. It ain't real. Like when Chris Rock was like, I'm going. You on the black podcast. I go on Jimmy Kimmel. White folks media. They all on that shit. But I have to go back and listen to that, because he said, now he didn't just say I talk to everybody. He said I do better, and he's better received. He does better with white folks. Go back and look at that again, because shit is wild.